turning into.
You're tuned to Evergreen Media Network. I am Cindy Schwartz, and this is our Veterans Voice radio show, and your host, Ralph Nathan Oko.
Hello, everybody, and a happy birthday to all of us. Last week, we played a repeat intentionally, and I don't know if you caught it. We played what apparently turned out to unintentionally one of the most popular accepted shows of our Veterans Voice radio, and that was our story in the history of the American flag.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Even the school system has commented on it. So we played it last week, and the reason is what happens when you add 1776 and 250, 2026. And 2026 is the 250th day. Come on, Patty. Birthday.
No.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
All of us.
America, yeah.
America, 250. I got goosebumps on me.
Yeah.
I remember the day I was 1 month shy of my 12th birthday, and it was like 6:30 in the morning. My father wakes me up. I'm on the SS Israel. We just traveled 14 days between December 6th and December 20th on the Mediterranean and the Atlantic. And you got to be a fool to do that. Man, it was miserable. But he wakes me up, takes me out on the outer deck, and there's Lady Liberty. And if you ever want to remember something about the United States, think about a fresh kid who speaks no English, never even knew what Liberty was, or Santa Claus, or grocery stores, or hot dogs, or taxi cabs, or phones. I see this Liberty, and I still see it right now. God bless America. A very happy birthday from the bottom of my heart. Independence Day today, Saturday, July 4th. 2026. And with that, this is your family, from our family to your family, and all of us. Patrick McAllister, Cindy Schwartz, and myself, Ralph Oko. We want to share this holiday with you. So what we want to do is a little bit different. We want to have like a conversation and a shoot the bull type of thing about some of the interesting things about Independence Day and the 4th of July festivities. First of all, the question is, why don't we celebrate it all year long?
Yeah.
Cindy and I believe that it should be a happy birthday all year long. So Patty volunteered to do a little bit of entertainment,
Yes.
of a little background. And then the three of us are just going to share with you our feelings about this happy occasion. Now, Cindy, you have an advantage over all of us. You have been to Washington, D.C., like every inauguration for I don't know how long.
Well, a couple inaugurations.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've also been to, in 1976, when you were 4 years old, you went to Michigan for the bicentennial.
Right. Gerald Ford was the president then,
And,
yes.
But Carter had been elected. Or not yet.
He wasn't in yet, I
Later
don't think.
that year.
Labor. Okay. Now, what I do want you to remember, now we live in Treasure Coast, which is 3 or 4 county area on the central eastern part of the state of Florida. And in 1976, in the city of Fort Pierce, at the Sunrise Theater, and I don't believe it was renovated at the time yet. It was still the old Sunrise Theater. They had a bicentennial play, and I wish I would have been there because Bacchus, Beanie Bacchus, the mentor, the father of the Highwaymen, he created the stage props.
Oh, wow.
The little guys
backdrops.
and the big. If you ever been to plays, live plays, you see these 15, 20, 30-foot huge boards that are stage props, showing where scenes as a background of where the play is taking place. I wish I'd been there. But you know what? I don't have to wish. We are here. All of us. Patty, Cindy, and I, and you. Without you, there wouldn't be us. So let's share this. So Patty entered, let us No, let you entertain us.
That's your cue. There
Well,
you go.
First of all, I do wish everybody a happy semi-quincentennial
Yes.
Wow.
Yay.
Independence Day.
Yay.
I managed to get that word out the first time.
I couldn't even spell it.
Anyhow, oh, and by the way, the east coast of Florida has a very special part in the War of Independence.
Oh.
Namely, the last battle, and it happened to be a naval battle, the last battle of the War of Independence happened right off the coast at Cape Canaveral on March 10, 1783. And there is even a memorial to that battle at Port Canaveral's Jetty Park. It's called the Alliance Civil Incident. And if we have a bit of time today, I'll tell people about it. But let's suffice to say that the Americans won what was the last battle of the War of Independence. And with that, everybody, I am going to help y'all win beers in your next bar bet. Okay, listen carefully. Listen carefully.
I love
Okay,
this man.
there's a beer riding on this. Okay.
Okay.
What day was the United States of America born?
July 3rd, if I remember right.
That's
Second or third?
I was going to say the 3rd.
Second. On
Second.
July 2nd,
Yay.
1776, the Second Continental Congress enacted the Resolution for Independence, which created the United States of America. You have been celebrating Independence Day on the wrong day your entire life. The way it ended up, we got July 4th as Independence Day. That was the day when the Second Continental Congress approved the final wording of the Declaration of Independence, and that evening, July 4th, John Dunlop got to work at his printing press, and he made up what's called the Dunlop broadsheet.
Yeah.
And then those were handed to writers, and they went out and about through the colonies delivering copies of the Declaration of Independence, which had right on top, assembled this day, July 4, 1776. And so people thought that was the day the U.S. was born. And so they celebrated the first Independence Day as July 4th, and we've just had it ever since. But no, technically, America was born on July 2nd, 1776. Go to the bars, make those bets, win your beers, okay?
And by the way, the real reason, the delay between the 2nd and the 4th, the internet was down that year.
Yeah, it was.
That's right. That's right. And speaking about historical flukes, I'm going to step back to 1754. There was this young lieutenant. We're talking British here, so he's a lieutenant, not a lieutenant. Lieutenant when you have the United States of America. To speak American, lieutenant when it is British. So, Lieutenant George Washington, 22 years old. He was with the British Army out in the Ohio Valley, all right, in 1754. One day, he got over-eager for a gunfight, and in the melee of his making, a French commander got promoted to Heavenly Angel. The diplomatic titting for tatting went into high gear after that, but a handful of those Euro thugs thought war was catnip, and we ended up with the 7 Years' War, a.k.a. World War Zero. The North American theater of Europe's first multi-continental free-for-all cage match was called the French and Indian War. So, it took Britain 9 years to win the 7 Years' War. And you know what they say. War is hell.
Yeah.
Hellaciously expensive. The national debt for Britain ramped up from 74 million pounds to 133 million pounds by war's end in 1763. Now, somebody had to pay the bar tab, and the British Parliament hit on an idea.
Get
Those
the Americans.
transatlantic American bumpkins who started the whole thing never paid enough taxes, which they hadn't, to be fair. So they can pay for the peace on the installment plan. That is to say, the British Parliament came up with some new taxes for the American colonists to pay. Parliament came up with the Sugar Act and the Currency Act of 1764, among other fundraising schemes, including the least popular of them all, the Stamp Act of 1765.
Yeah.
Now, these taxes weren't really steep, but no American had a chance to vote yay or nay.
Mm-hmm.
Americans responded with a political marketing campaign custom-made for the modern social media world. They took the complex and nuanced issues related to colonial rights within the British Empire to voting representation and boiled them down to 4 simple words. No taxation without representation. And thus, what started was the revolutionary period that stretched from 1764 because of the French and Indian War that Lieutenant George Washington inadvertently started, 1764 to 1783 with the Treaty of Paris, in which Britain finally relented and said, fine, you're independent, whatever, ungrateful peasants. In June of 1765, the Massachusetts Assembly sent invitations to all the other colonies with assemblies to send delegates to the first meeting of the Continental Congress of 1765, better known as the Stamp Act Congress. 9 other colonies did, and the Stamp Act Congress convened at City Hall in New York in October of that year. The Congress, among other things, issued the Declaration of Rights and Grievances, which gave the rough philosophical outline for the coming War of Independence. The Declaration stated that since the colonies didn't have representation in Parliament, only the colonial assemblies had the right to tax their citizens. The Declaration also stated colonists necessarily had all the rights afforded to anybody living in England, including the right to trial by jury instead of admiralty courts. The Parliament wasn't moved by these elegant... Okay.
Okay, are you all right?
Seconds.
Is that a good time?
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
You got it.
The Parliament wasn't moved by the elegant arguments, so it countered with the American Colonies Act of 1776, better known as the Declaratory Act, reasserting it had the absolute right to legislate for the colonies. In other words, the Parliament gave the colonies both middle fingers, and we'll pick it up on the other side of the break.
You're terrific. So we have to say thank you to the British government for kind of rising our tempers up. We're going to take a very short break. Our Veterans Voice Radio, and happy birthday to you.
I'm Dr. Tim Ioannidis at Treasure Coast Dermatology. At Treasure Coast Dermatology, we believe in the prevention and early detection of skin cancer. We are medical doctors, and we focus on the medical aspects of dermatology. You don't need a sales pitch for Botox, collagen, or wrinkle creams. You need a doctor that cares about you and the health of your skin. We feel by not trying to do too much, we can do more for our patients.
Call toll-free 877-870-DERM. That's 877-870-3376.
Meet Henry Bach, patient of Florida Eye Institute.
After having the cataracts removed, it was a whole new world for me. The colors were brilliant. It was painless. You could almost say it's like being born all over again. When I come in here, it's like coming home. Everyone's so friendly and nice. It's just a wonderful experience.
Are you ready to experience truly exceptional patient care? Florida Eye Institute.
Hey, did you hear the latest about our Florida Highwomen?
No, what?
There's a Highwomen Art Gallery in Vero Beach.
Really? Where?
1872 Commerce Avenue.
Wow, when's it open?
7 days a week. Call 954-557-6226 for an appointment anytime.
No kidding?
Just call for your appointment, 954-557-6226, and then go to 1872 Commerce Avenue.
Wow, that's good news.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday,
America.
Happy birthday to
Yay, America, USA.
And it's a present to everybody. Originally, now you just heard the commercial for the Highwomen Gallery on Commerce Avenue. As a rule, we would normally be closed on the 4th of July. But we found out that the city of Vero Beach is going to have one monumental hell of a party
Yes.
downtown the whole day. Mm-hmm. And since we're on the outskirts of downtown, Sheila and I decided, let's give everybody a happy birthday gift. And the gift is that the Highwomen Gallery at 1872 Commerce Avenue in Vero Beach will be open for visitation from 10 to 3. It's not because of greed or money. We want to share the holiday with you. Come on in and look at our museum, which is what our store is. Don't feel obligated to buy anything. But you gotta wear red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna try to do.
Yeah.
So thank you for participating. Thank you for being on our Veterans Voice Radio. And Patty, it's all yours.
All right. So, a citizens group started meeting in Boston in 1765 in response to that Stamp Act everybody hated. Like a lot of groups, they'd cycle through a few names at first. The Loyal Nine was one. Eventually, they called themselves the True-Born Sons of Liberty. Today, we know them simply as the Sons of Liberty. Now, the Sons of Liberty started as a sort of political discussion and grievance group made up of a cross-section of Boston society. They eventually took on sophisticated publication, agitation, and intelligence operations. The British government and military responded to their troublemaking, and they were really good at troublemaking, responded to their troublemaking with even more suppressive legislation and actions. The push and pull escalated into events such as the Boston Massacre of 1777 and the Boston Tea Party of which happened in December of 1773. And on a quick aside, many historians, and I am among them, hold that the killing of 5 Americans at the Boston Massacre was the start of the Revolutionary War. Mm-hmm. That makes the first man who died for American independence, Crispus Attucks, who was a Wampanoag, a seaman of African and Native American descent. So, the British answered the Boston Tea Party with the Intolerable Acts. The American colonists replied with their committees of correspondence, the Suffolk Resolves, and finally the First Continental Congress of 1774. The British never got any good at the whole winning hearts and minds thing. So, in April of 1775, they decided to take a little walk out of Boston to go put the clamp on any colonial war-making supplies. Bunch of people, including one Paul Revere, went for horse rides shouting, "The British are coming! The British are coming!" Folks stumbled out of their farmhouses saying, "Huh? We're the British." So Paul Revere apologized and said, "I mean, the regulars are coming. The regulars are coming." The farmers said, "Oh, why didn't you just say so, lad?" And they formed up as the Massachusetts militia at Lexington and Concord.
The shot heard around the world.
When the British, regulars, got there, things went bad really fast. No one knows why the first shot boomed in the night or who shot it, but boom it did, and all hell broke loose. The Massachusetts militia put the hurt on the regulars at Concord, so the British hightailed it back to Boston. The militia followed and sieged the city as other colonies' militias joined in creating the Army of Observation. The Second Continental Congress made the whole affair the Revolutionary War as we now think of it by passing the Declaration of the Causes of Necessity of taking up arms, and they created the Continental Army. That was July of 1775. The Declaration was an explanatory justification for colonists taking up arms against the British military, but not a statement of independence. Not yet.
Who wrote the Declaration?
Yet. The Declaration of Independence, almost all agree, was almost exclusively authored by Thomas Jefferson. With some editing by other, by a handful of others. And of course, the name of the committee is now slipping out of my head. But it was supposed to be a committee bit of writing, but really it was Thomas Jefferson. Pretty much everybody agrees.
Yeah, let me ask you something, Patty. You know, being 2026, many of us don't really know a lot of the facts. But if we had to remember 2, 3, 4, 5 names, they're the most significant that we can accredit with the end result of independence. Who do you think they would be?
The one name absolutely nobody remembers that I think is really important is Henry Lee. He was a delegate from Virginia to the first, I think, First and Second Continental Congress. He was the one who filed the resolution for independence.
So why is not remembered as well?
You know, we could wax philosophical. Yeah, we could wax philosophical about that for hours. Like, kind of expanding on that theme.
Okay.
If I had to pick, who is the most consequential person to modern history, like whose hand had the single greatest effect on modern history?
Probably iHeart, because they're going to go to commercial.
Okay, go ahead and go to commercial.
Okay, we can leave that name hidden there.
Yes.
When you come back, we're going to tell you who that person is. We'll be right back for the station breaks. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.